Howdy, Mustangs. I want to talk to you today about GPSD teacher websites. GPSD requires that every classroom teacher has a teacher website. Teacher websites facilitate communication with parents, guardians, and students on information about you and your course. I like to think of teacher websites as your first line of communication. So it should include all important information that parents and students and guardians would need at their fingertips. Due dates, project sheets, unit reviews, anything that a student would need to be successful in your class at home. You can create your website in Google Sites, Adobe Spark Pages, or Wix. If you're a returning teacher, you can click here to find your website from last year. Let's go back. I'm available to train you in Google Sites and Adobe Spark Pages. I really don't know that much about Wix. GPSD teacher websites. District minimum requirements. The district at a minimum requires that you have contact information. I like to think of this as your business card. It should include your name, your department, the classes that you teach, your email address, and your phone number. You should also include your class schedule. You should have an up-to-date class calendar. You can use your Google Calendars from your Google Classrooms. You should also include tutorial schedules and tutorial information, like how does the student request tutorials? What time will tutorials be? What can you expect to happen in tutorials? Any kind of supplies or anything they need to bring tutorials. GPSD requires teachers to have classroom supporting documents. What are classroom supporting documents? Think of this as any information that a student, parent, or tutor could use at home to help a student in your classroom. So if you called home and said that the student was struggling in your classroom and the family wanted to help the student at home, can they find information on there? Can they find units? Can they find review materials? Can they find the project sheet? Can they find due dates? Your classroom schedule. Your daily schedule should indicate your conference and your lunch times. If you're a coach or you have after-school commitments, you should also include that in there. That way the parent knows that if you don't call them back right away, that you're involved in an after-school commitment. I think I've made this easy for you. You should be able to just copy and paste this from the presentation that I'm going to send with this video, and you can copy and paste it right into your website and then customize it for you. Make your website personal. As a parent, when my students were in school, I loved to look at their teacher websites. It was important to me that I look at their website, and I'm going to tell you that I kind of judged a little bit if their website was just bare with just their contact information and that's it. I kind of knew that teacher might not be very supportive of my student. But if the teacher had lots of information on there, I kind of thought that it was going to be a good year with that teacher, and I helped me to build a better relationship with that teacher. Consider having a teacher bio or spotlight on your website. This lets your parents and students get to know you better and connect with you. You can just add information about where you attended school, maybe where you grew up, why you love your subject, or any hobbies or interests that you have. Think about adding a picture of yourself. It can be a formal pic or a selfie. Or if you don't want to have a picture of yourself, you could include a Bitmoji or an avatar to represent yourself. Let's make it extra. At North Shore 10, we want our websites to be on point and 100%. Consider adding other activities to your website. Maybe you could add the daily assignments for the students and parents to view. A glossary, word wall, or vocabulary are great for studying at home. What about flashcards? How about adding some interactive activities? This could be activities that you've done in class and you post on your website that the students could use as practice. Or it could be additional resources that you create so the students can use as a reteach or practice or enhancement. Think about adding enhancing things like maybe virtual field trips or other information that you find interesting, like current events or stuff that will enhance your classroom. Think about a classroom blog. It doesn't have to be much. You could just post a blog once every 6 weeks to let the parents know what's coming up in class. You could post a blog once a week, letting them know what you've done in class. You could also have students be guest bloggers and they could post for that week and tell their feelings and reactions to the class. Graphics and pictures are a must. Studies have shown over and over that adults have better comprehension if they have a graphic that goes with the written content. Think about adding icons or clip art or anything that helps illustrate what your message is. Make a QR code for your website. QR codes are a great way for you to share your website. You can make a QR code using this link that I have provided for you. You can copy and paste your website URL into this link and it'll create a QR code for you. Use your QR code at open house, in emails, in parent conferences, and also post it in your classroom for your students to use. Keep it up to date. There's nothing worse than going to a website and finding out of date information. Please keep your website and most importantly, your website calendar current and up to date. Don't let your website become obsolete. There's nothing worse than seeing a website that was set up by a teacher at the first of the year and then never touched again. Make it engaging and interactive. At a minimum, GPSD requires that you update your website each grading period. You're almost done, and I bet your website looks amazing. I can't wait to see it. You can check your completed website against this rubric right here. What kind of grade did you make? Is it awesome? Please turn your website URL into me using this Google form. Please don't email me your URL. I like to have all of the website URLs in one place. It makes it easy to update the employee directory on North Shore 10's website. Be proud of your website. You did such an awesome job. Share your website with parents and guardians via Skyward email blast. Also, post your website on your Google Classroom page in your materials section. Make sure everyone gets a chance to look at your great work. I can't wait to see your websites. I will have training next week on Monday and Tuesday in room 1127. We can start from scratch with your website, and I can teach you how to use Google Sites or Adobe Spark. We can also do a makeover of your website. I have lots of ideas on layouts and designs for websites. I can't wait to see all your websites, and I hope y'all have a great Mustang Day and an awesome Mustang weekend.